The new P243 pump, with its readable data memory Quickdata 2.0, is a universal pump for progressive lubrication systems. Through a USB interface and a dedicated operating system, settings for control times, operating times, or lubrication cycles can be made very easily. At the same time, the operating events are thoroughly documented in the data memory. Up to 3 lubrication cycles or lubricant distributors can be monitored using the pump P243 with integrated data memory. It can be used within a temperature range of -30 to +70 degrees. The remote monitoring of system status and simple operation of the operating system enables quick detection of important discrepancies from normal operating mode. That makes the P243 the ideal solution for industrial machines, agricultural and construction machines, rail work and tamping machines, and wind generators. The installation starts automatically when the CD is inserted. The pump must be connected to a PC or laptop for the initial installation. We will now open the Quick Lube program. A connection is now being established with the pump. The pump is now connected with Quick Lube 0.93 or higher. Here, the data is being transferred from the circuit board of the pump to the software. The data is now loaded. In the User Name field, the user can enter which system part the pump is installed in, for example. The serial number of the circuit board is located here. The master password is generated from this serial number. This master password is only valid for this one pump. It is located on a sticker that is placed on the pump. The user can either use this password or edit their own in the Extras menu, but the master password always remains valid. The password is always required when new parameters need to be saved to the pump. The part number of the pump is located here. The type designation is P243. The Active field indicates the next time the pump is lubricating, or whether the pump is currently in lubrication mode, or how long the pump has already been lubricating. In the Extras menu, you can make language settings. The following options are available: German, English, French, Spanish, Russian, and Chinese. In case of a possible battery failure, although system functionality is guaranteed, the time and date stamp of the events will no longer be current. There is an option here after the battery has been replaced to send the current PC time and the date to the circuit board. Here you can see the entire lubrication time of the system, the total pause time of the system, the number of lubrication cycles that the system has completed, the number of manual lubrications, as well as the current date and time. Under Last Change, the name of the user who made the last change of parameters is entered. This can also be found and documented in the Events log under Logging. Now we come to the parameters. In the current case, the pause times and operating times are set. The operating and pause time can be changed using the arrow keys or can also be entered in the field directly using the keyboard. Here, the box must be unchecked when the ignition or the machine contact is connected to the pump. If this machine contact is not present, the box must be checked. Now to the interval control. This field must be marked if pulses in the system being lubricated should be counted, for example for pressing. In this field, the number of pulses is entered. When the pulse quantity entered is reached, a lubrication action is performed. In our case, a lubrication cycle of 1 minute occurs after 11 pulses. Here, piston detectors or signal sensors can be integrated with the system. In the simplest case, these piston detectors are used for monitoring purposes only. In our example, we have a pause time that is set for 37 minutes and an operating time of 1 minute. The monitoring time is set to 5 minutes. The pump thus turns on after 37 minutes and works for 1 minute. The monitoring time only elapses during the operating time. We therefore still have 4 minutes of monitoring time remaining after the first working cycle. A maximum of 3 lubrication cycles can be monitored. The piston detectors can also be used for controlling the system. The time basis now changes. We now have 1 cycle time. The cycle time consists of 1 pause time and 1 working time portion. If we assume, for example, that the system is started up in the summer and the system requires 1 minute to complete a lubrication cycle, then in our example, the pause portion of the cycle time would be 13 minutes. If the ambient temperature drops and as a result 2 minutes are needed for a lubrication cycle because the lubricant is heavier to feed, the pause portion of the cycle time will only be 12 minutes. This ensures that within a specific time unit, the same quantity of lubricant is always supplied to the system. Inputs. Empty message and full message can be freely selected. For example, NO contact, NC contact, or intermittent. A minimum and maximum operating temperature can be preset. When the temperature falls below the minimum temperature, the pump stops, and when the minimum temperature is exceeded, it is automatically restarted. Here, no fault message is output. But if the maximum temperature is exceeded, the pump is switched off, and a fault message is output. There are 3 relay outputs on the circuit board. The signal output of the relay circuit board can be freely selected: blinking signal, continuous signal, or, if zero voltage safety is desired, an NC contact signal. If there is no full message on the pump, a motor running reply is output to the switch room. In case of a fault message, a choice can also be made between blinking signal, continuous signal, and NC contact. If there is an empty full message, a fill pump can be connected. This fill pump is connected to the empty message relay. The fill time monitoring is set in this field. If the fill time is exceeded, an alarm is triggered and the fill pump is switched off. Automatic detection of the piston detector monitoring time. The system selected previously with 1, 2 or 3 piston detectors is set automatically. Here the pump is started and the times of the feedback signals of the piston detectors are observed. This can last up to 30 minutes. The configured values can now be transferred to the pump using the download button. The pump will now request the password. Any potential errors or events are listed in the events list. Error distributor 1, error distributor 2, error distributor 3, temperature error, battery error, fill time error, empty message, full message, manual lubrications, automatic lubrications, error acknowledgements, the last user who actively changed parameters, and incorrect time setting. Each event is stored in a memory. Here it will be the second event that is overwritten when there is a full memory, not the first event. This way, it is easy to determine how long the error has been present. Shown in this diagram is the entire lubrication system, which consists of the pump and the distributors. The pump can be switched on and off here by selecting the Motor push button. Fault, full message and empty message are signalled. The current temperature is also displayed, and the piston detectors are displayed. When there is a fault, the relevant LED will be illuminated red. The reason for the fault here was that the monitoring time was set too short. All events and operating statuses on the lubrication system are recorded under Log. This function is available for as long as the pump is connected to the computer. Sporadic errors can thus be easily detected, localized, and corrected.